What's going on, my boys? YTDan back again with another dank video. And today we're going to be doing as we have done in the past. We're going to be getting in there with one of those one card reviews. Now, yesterday we had a live stream and it was a lot of fun. If you did not see the live stream, I suggest you go check it out. We found out that Cosmic Cyclone never misses. That it also negates your opponent's back row. Unexpected die. And we also, well, I found out that a lot of people still need help with synchros and tuning, and I'm gonna help you out with it. So today's video is going to be about consistency. That's what we're gonna talk about. We're gonna talk about consistency because a lot of people, I don't think they fully understand the concept or why it's fully important. So they can't fully understand or appreciate Stardust Dragon. And I guess maybe saying consistency is wrong. We're going to talk about plus ones and minus ones, which means A -1 is when you take something away from your opponent. A +1 is when you get something and doesn't lose anything. And literally that's the reason why I've been successful in Duel Links and in Yu-Gi-Oh! Because I understand the concept of the +1 and the -1. If you understand the concept of +1, -1, you can win in Duel Links too, but we're gonna get into that a little bit more into the video. Now, let's kind of start off with the previous deck that I was playing. The deck we were playing with Stardust Dragon, and we were using the vampire cards. Someone left a comment on my video, which I'm glad they left this comment because I really enjoy like thoughtful discourse about Yu-Gi-Oh! I really like when people ask questions or maybe leave statements that actually is constructive rather than destructive. So example, this person leaves a comment and too long didn't read. He says, what's the difference between this combo and Blackluster Soldier? I guess besides the obvious, you know, what's the point of doing this? The reason why you would do it is basically because Stardust Dragon is summoned for free. On your first turn, you start off with 4 cards, but when you're playing with vampires, by the time you reach the end of your first turn, you'll have on the field a full field of monsters, one including Stardust Dragon, a graveyard that's set up, complete with all the essential pieces you need to continue or extend your plays, and 1 card in your hand that you were able to select from your deck. Because you went from 4 cards to 5 cards, that would be considered a +1. Anything that takes away from your opponent and does not take away from you will be considered a plus for you and a negative for your opponent. And that's how you win games, by giving your opponent so many -1s that they cannot recover. So the key to winning in Yu-Gi-Oh! Is just card counting, right? Understanding when your opponent can play a card, how they play that card, and then also how many cards can they actually play. So that leads into this new synchro deck that I'm going to be talking to you guys about, that's utilizing 2 cards that you may have never heard about. One is called Natural Tune, which says select 1 face-up level 4 or lower normal monster, and that card is treated as a tuner. And the additional card also that I'm kind of using is called Light Wave Tuning, which is another card you can use in this exact same deck. Select the level 4 light monster you control, and that card is treated as a tuner while this card is face up on the field. Alright, so moving over to the Queen Sky Blaster. This deck is a synchro summoning deck focused around summoning the Stardust Dragon. And the reason why you want to play something like this is because of the combos that you can potentially run in this deck, and how you can summon Stardust Dragon and still have cards in your hand. Now, unlike the vampire combo, this combo does not end with a +1. But what this deck does do is provide multiple methods of summoning Stardust Dragon, and then as more synchros come down the line, more technologies come down the line, this deck will improve and get better over time. But right now, I'm just going to show you guys what I got, and I've also run this deck in balance as well, and in balance it's even more ferocious, but it's more susceptible to bricks, I found, because a lot of times in balance you only get 1 monster in hand, and sometimes you just get Jack's Knight and it's over. So let's talk about King, Queen, and Jack's Knight since we're on the subject. King, Queen, Jack is one of those. Russell, thanks for the sub. King, Queen, Jack's Knight is one of those old school combos that a lot of people love but haven't been able to really use in Duel Links, just simply because it's a little tedious to play. But with the card Unexpected Die, special summon Queen's Knight from the deck, special summon Queen's Knight from the deck, normal summon your King's Knight. So you played this, and that's a break even, right? So you played 1 spell and then special summoned a monster from the deck. You did not take a -1. You normal summon the King's Knight from your hand. Then you special summon the Jack's Knight from your deck. That's your +1. Now, you have the option at this point. Can you attack for game right now? Maybe, if it's on turn 2 and your opponent didn't do anything. Or Should you continue this play? Take a -1 and summon Stardust Dragon. Maybe if you have cards like Shooting Star. Shooting Star says if a Stardust Dragon monster is on the field, target one card on the field, destroy that target. Having a powerful card like this means this to you. Number one, you can stop any For Hire deck on their first summon unless they have Mayhem for Hire. Number two, you can stop any spellbook deck if you happen to go first and they tried to summon their spellcaster, pop it immediately. This card works the same as Paleozoic Canadia or any other card that can disrupt a summon, which instantly makes this deck a viable deck. So now the question is, what else to run? I say the 3 free slots in this deck is here, and maybe you could take out one of these. So you got a slot for 4 cards. But for consistency's sake and for the sake of this video, I'm running it at maximum because I want to make sure that these combos go off so that you can see the combos so that they're illustrated for you. Now also a card that I'm running here is Synchro Deflector. And it says activate only when a face-up synchro monster you control is selected as an attack target. Negate the attack and destroy one monster your opponent controls. And that doesn't say face up, face down. It doesn't even say the attacking. It said one monster. So if your opponent attacks your Stardust Dragon, and they will because it's only 2,500 attack and 2,000 defense, you can go ahead and destroy any monster that they have. Now you might be wondering, why don't I use the other Stardust support like Cosmic Flare, which is actually an amazing card, or things like Stardust Flash to bring Stardust back, or even Stardust Respark? Well, let's explain. Stardust Respark is very, very slow. You have to be near death to use it, and the monster has to be special summoned that's attacking. Sometimes you just get hit with a normal summon monster. Not a good card. Stardust Flash can bring back any Stardust Dragon from the grave. Yeah, that's okay, but I think you should focus on summoning the Stardust Dragon and then protecting it rather than bringing it back from the grave, because we don't have any easy method to discard one to the grave. Now, if there was a card that discarded extra deck monsters to the grave, then Stardust Flash would be a fantastic card. But it'll be just like Red Eye Spirit in that sense. But because we don't have that, or at least I don't know about that, that's not a viable option. And then also Cosmic Flare. Now this card basically says if you're attacking a Stardust Dragon, or your Stardust Dragon is attacking, you can banish the monster, and I'm sorry, not banish the monster. You can send the monster from the field to the deck. And if you activate Stardust Effect to negate something that would destroy, you can use Cosmic Flare in the grave instead. So it's a pretty good card, but unfortunately, if you don't have Stardust Dragon, you lose, similar to something like this. And we're already running 3 Shooting Star, and you can pretty much run Canadia or something else in this place. But I like Synchro Deflector because, you know, of course it works with the style, and as I'm working with this deck, I'm basically reverse engineering it. I'll soon figure out a way to add more cards, add more synchros, add more combos, and then this card might become more relevant. But like I said, this is a test deck, and I've been working it out, and as you can clearly see, it's been working. It's consistent, but we just need to figure out the staying power for this deck. Now also something that I was messing around with, and I never really got to use it, ironically, because every time I had it in my hand I would still have game, is anti-magic arrows. For a time I just took out 2 of these and I had in 2 anti-magic arrows. And because I have in the 2 anti-magic arrows, you got ties that bind and you have unexpected die. Sometimes you can go queen, kings, knights, ties, checkmate. Activate anti-magic arrows for game. It's a very easy win. So that's why this deck is a good deck. That's why this deck is a deadly deck, because you can potentially +1 and you can potentially end the game. And then also you can summon out your Stardust Dragon for relatively cheap. Now Phantom Sky Blaster, we didn't even talk about this card. This is a second Stardust Dragon method. So you summon out Phantom Sky Blaster, activate the effect, special summon a token, then activate Natural Tune, and turn that token into a tuner, and then you sync the tuner and the Sky Blaster together to make Stardust Dragon. same thing with King Queen's Knight combo. Queen's Knight from Unexpected Die, summon the King's Knight, bring out the Jack's Knight, activate Natural Tune. Natural Tune is going to turn Queen's Knight into a tuner, and then you're going to sync the Queen's Knight and the King. You can sync King's Knight and Queen's Knight together, which will make Stardust Dragon. And then of course you can set up your shooting stars and other plays. So as you can see, it's just easy to get in and out of Stardust Dragon. It's easy for you to play 3 monsters on 1 turn, and you can potentially have game with anti-magic arrows. So I really feel like this deck just needs a little more work, a little more tweaking, but at the end of the day, this is what a synchro deck looks like. More than one method to get into the main synchro monster, probably some sort of win condition outside of the synchro monster, and it's gonna be able to swarm fast. So this is the kind of deck that I'm talking about. This is a synchro age deck. But as I keep going, we're gonna keep unlocking combos and we're gonna keep doing better. But this is all I had for you guys today. So I thank you guys so much for checking out this video, and I hope that it was helpful to you. Let me know how you're using your synchro summoning beast. Are you even bothering to try? Some of you aren't bothering to try because you've already disregarded it. Don't disregard it, my boy. Get in there and try it. You might like it. But as always, my boys, keep it dank.